I give the floor to the representative of the Syrian Arab Republic.
شكرا سيد الرئيس. سيد الرئيس أدلي بهذا.
Thank you, Mr. President. I deliver the statement on behalf of the Arab Group at the United Nations here in New York. I wish to thank you for having positively responded to the request from the brotherly country of Algeria, a member of the Security Council, for the convening of this emergency meeting to address the most recent escalation in the ongoing Israeli escalation against the fraternal people of Lebanon over the past year. I welcome the presence of the Foreign Minister of Lebanon, Mr. Abdallah Bouhabib. Mr. President, on Tuesday and Wednesday, on the 17th and 18th of September last, Lebanon was targeted by targeted assassinations by Israel, targeting thousands of Lebanese civilians throughout the country. At the same time, thousands of beepers and walkie-talkies exploded, resulting in the deaths of 37 people and 3,250 wounded. Many of these people remain in critical condition. The Israeli occupation entity, through the perpetration of this heinous crime, has continued to escalate its aggression and terrorism, targeting Lebanese civilians, targeting them, targeting their families, in their homes, in public spaces, without the slightest consideration for the principles of international law, international human rights law, and the very basic principles of humanity and civilization. The brutality of the attack by the Israeli entity is nothing new, Mr. President. This entity, since its inception, perpetrated bloodshed, sowing horror. What is new, however, is the manipulation of modern-day technology, equipment and devices that have been used for the well-being of people. These devices are now being used to perpetrate collective murder of civilians. The entity, the occupying entity, used commonplace devices for civilian purposes, used for civilian purposes in various sectors, and transformed these devices into ticking time bombs, killing those holding them without any distinction, sowing devastation around them. In this way, generating tremendous suspicion vis-a-vis the reliability and the safety of communications devices. The authorities of the Israeli occupying power last month used cyber attacks to intercept air traffic, civilian air traffic, imperiling the safety of passengers in Lebanese airspace. And this resulted in disruptions in the civilian operating system, resulting in the piracy of electronic devices, as well as of vital devices and applications. These are crimes that elucidate Israel's contempt for civilian life and international law. The Arab Group condemns in the strongest terms the Israeli terrorist acts against the fraternal Lebanese people. We call for accountability for the perpetrators of these crimes. We extend our deepest condolences to the families of the victims. And we wish a speedy recovery to the injured. We extend our full solidarity with Lebanon, our full support for its resistance and its fight against Israeli aggression, which threatens its security and stability, which also represents an additional burden at a time when Lebanon is tackling many challenges in many sectors, including the health sector. The Arab Group demands that the Security Council condemn this Israeli cyber terrorism, this ongoing aggression against the brotherly Lebanese people, which is part and parcel of the acts of genocide that are being perpetrated, ethnic cleansing, as well as systematic violations of international law being perpetrated by the Israeli occupying entity against the Israeli Palestinian people in the Gaza Strip and the West Bank. And we condemn aggressions against countries in the region, including Syria. The Arab group reiterates that Israeli acts of aggression will not stymie the desire of the commitment of our people to and our attachment to the legitimate rights to liberate territory. We demand that the Security Council meet its responsibility for the maintenance of international peace and security, and we demand an end to this aggression, for the Security Council to enforce the relevant resolutions to end the Israeli occupation of Arab territories in Palestine, Syria, and Lebanon. The Arab group holds the Israeli occupying entity as fully accountable for any escalation, any situation that results in full-blown war in the region. Mr. President, I now wish to deliver the following remarks in my national capacity. The Syrian delegation aligns itself with the statement of the Arab group. Syria condemns the aggression and the ongoing terrorism against the Lebanese people, including cyber terrorism, which claimed the lives of dozens, injuring thousands, including the Iranian ambassador to Lebanon. We also condemn the barbaric aggression which targeted the south suburbs of Beirut, claiming the lives of 12 people, including children, which resulted in 66 people being wounded. Syria reaffirms its full solidarity with the fraternal Lebanese people, and we call upon all peoples throughout the world to condemn the Israeli aggression against Lebanon and to act to put an end to this, and to demand accountability for the authorities, the occupying authorities, for the crimes perpetrated. Furthermore, we believe that states supporting Israel, the United States first and foremost, shoulder full responsibility for the ongoing Israeli occupation, its acts of aggression, its barbaric crimes, as well as obstruction at the Security Council, preventing the Security Council from upholding its responsibility to counter threats posed by the occupying power, threats to international peace and security. To conclude, there is a single reason for the instability in the region, that is the Israeli occupation of Arab lands in Palestine, in the Syrian Golan, and in South Lebanon. The Al-Majd al-Shams, which the representative of the occupation has tried to manipulate in this history. These are children who are Syrian children residing in the occupied Syrian Golan, who aspire, as do their families, to live freely. For the Golan to return to Syria, the solution in the region can only, the resolution in the region can only lie through an end to the occupation, Israel's cessation to its systematic violations of international law. Thank you.
I thank the representative of the Syrian Arab Republic for their statement.